in my hand I have 24 brand new Srixon golf balls, which to be honest I've never even heard of, which is probably why I paid hardly anything for them. Might be gaming these for the next couple of months. Whilst I was browsing through my local Sports Direct in the golf section, I stumbled across a Srixon golf ball, which to be honest, I've never even heard of. Not only that, when I saw the price of what these were being sold for in a 24 golf ball pack, I was shocked at how much cheaper these balls were than everything else on offer. Even the Sports Direct own brand Slazenger V300 was almost £3 more expensive per dozen, and if you were to buy 2 dozen, they were still £5 more than what I have in my hand today. And whilst trying to do as much research as I possibly can on the golf balls that I have here, very little information is offered, and as far as I'm aware, this golf ball itself is completely discontinued. But that's not to say that you wouldn't be able to get your hands on it either brand new or potentially second hand. So here they are, and I'd love to hear if you guys have ever used, seen or heard of the Marathon Soft, because to be honest, when I first saw them in Sports Direct, I thought these were Srixon soft fills until I took a closer look. And as you can see at the bottom there, reduced 70% off, £19.99. That is just about 83p a golf ball. And considering we're coming into the winter months where it's getting wetter, a lot more leaves are dropping on the floor, and potentially the chances of us losing even more golf balls than usual, could these be a great alternative for your golf bag this winter? Now, the reason that I think these have been discontinued is because I can't find them absolutely anywhere. So I think if you were to find these brand new, you're going to have to search your local Sports Direct. There's a few available in mine in Newbury, and potentially there's going to be more of these around the country. But putting that to one side, we're going to test them, try them, see how good or bad they actually are, because this is a big name brand when it comes to golf balls. And if you aren't able to get them in person in your local Sports Direct, guess which sleeve I used for the trick shot at the start of the video. I've seen quite a lot of these second hand, i.e. late balls on eBay for even cheaper than what these are here. And potentially they could be a great little training bag, practice bag through the winter as fillers for your practice, considering the price of them. Now, if you've ever wanted a boring or monotonous read, always read the back of a golf ball sleeve, as it's the same thing for every golf ball, whether it's a £5 ball or a £2 ball, 50p ball. Tremendous carry, penetrating ball flight, higher launch, stops quicker, goes further, amazing feel. Honestly, it'd be the best marketing for a golf ball in the world if they just put advantages, felt like everything else you've ever hit. So let's open up a brand new sleeve, as I do find with some of the cheaper balls on the market, you definitely get some imperfections straight away in terms of quality control. And I don't know if you can see that right from the get-go, but there's almost like a nick on the golf ball. I have to say, it looks just like every other Srixon golf ball, apart from obviously Marathon Soft on the side. And as I said, I've never heard of this ball before ever in my life. Some of the dimples, I would say, from the get-go as well, somewhat inconsistent. And again, hopefully the camera can pick this up, but just under the N of the Marathon, the dimples are almost somewhat out of place compared to the other dimples on the golf ball. That being said, at 83p a ball, is the type of player that's using these really going to notice that much difference? Now, before we go any further and we try and figure out why Srixon abandoned this golf ball altogether in terms of manufacturing, here's a good reason for you to stop using expensive golf balls throughout the autumn going into winter, and it's because of those. Here's another reason why you don't need to use an expensive ball in the winter. Predominantly expensive golf balls come into their own when you're close to the flag. You have very little club head speed and you're trying to get that zip not only are you getting distance off the tee box, getting the right spin rate, but also generate enough spin when you short side of yourself. The green's nice and fast, quick, slick, and you're behind the bunker. The difference now is, especially in England, it's wet, it's soft. The greens are going to be grown out a tiny bit more to obviously protect them. And you could be playing a noodle, a donne, a slazenger, and still get the same level of control around this distance, because to be honest, you don't really need that much spin at this time of year. Feel and sound is a huge thing when it comes to golf balls. If anyone remembers those Nike resin golf balls when they came out, performance wise was supposed to be as good as the rest. However, the sound of them was like a bullet, so no one actually used them. And this might be the most pointless and unofficial test of all time, but I've wasted years of my life in pro shops doing that would have been great. Doing this with multiple different price points of golf ball, and it feels great. It actually sounds soft, feels soft, which to be honest is half the battle when you buy a cheap golf ball. Right, let's hit some wedge shots with these. And now I did say earlier they're discontinued, and as far as I'm aware you can't get hold of them, and I don't think they're even coming back. But I have seen quite a lot of listings, especially late balls, on eBay, which I think this time of year isn't necessarily a bad shout. Forget the Srixon Marathon Soft, even though I'll show you some price listings and obviously the affordability that you can actually get from them. But as I stated earlier, when it comes to the level of control you actually need and require, plus the fact you're probably going to lose more balls this winter than you would with the summer, just down to unfair circumstances, tell you what, that felt really good. Oh, pin high, love it. To me, it just makes sense to go down a more affordable route, as the more conventional tech, i.e. the spin and the sharpness you need around the green, is somewhat void just because the conditions are changing. And obviously that's not the case for everyone in the world, especially if you live in a hotter country. Well, the fact that I've hit 2 greens in a row probably says something. They're basically next to each other. Right, let's hit this one off the deck. I'm going to say, if you line these up, Srixon soft fill, this, probably an AD33 and an AD33 Tour, blank, no cover, no description, I wouldn't be able to tell you the blindest bit of difference between all of them. Get in the hole, because that would really help the channel views. I've actually pinned that at the back as well. Considering how windy it is, and I don't know if you can pick the cloud up in the background, every single one of those will actually fly quite good. Look at that consistency, shot after shot. I don't really think I've hit 2 shots closer in my life, or had 2 pitch marks closer in my career. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this golf ball. Have you seen it? Have you tried it? Have you tested it? As to be honest, I don't think there's anything different between this and the Srixon soft fill, and I'd be very interested to see why they discontinued this. As to be honest, in my mind's eye, if you're offering a ball, which I think was £15 for 15 balls, so essentially £1 a golf ball, and there's very little that you can disassociate between this and, let's say, the other cheaper version, which is the soft fill, which, let's be honest, is one of the most popular selling golf balls of all time, well, then it doesn't really make much sense to have a cheaper version that does exactly the same thing. Although slightly short. Let's go 8 iron. Because from what I can tell from the shots I'm hitting, the sound, the feel, the flight, I mean, I'm very impressed at how well these are flying on a windy day like today. I couldn't tell you the slightest bit of difference between this and a lot of golf balls out there on the market. Tell you what, I'm in it great today. This might have to be my new golf ball. Which goes to show exactly how much part of this game is pure psychology. So we've hit some chip shots, wedge shots, full iron shots with the ball. And to be honest, in terms of imperfections or marks, hardly anything, which is quite surprising considering how wet and gritty the ground is at the moment. So let's hit some shots out of the bunker. Let's get it through the test. 5, 6, 7 shots, something like that. See how quickly it marks up. And here we have the end product. Your telltale signs, as you can see there. Scuff, marks, dinks, especially that one on the side there, for example. But that's to be expected. And to be honest, the type of person that I think that would use this golf ball. If you've been in the bunker 7, 8, 9 times with it, I still think this is playable, but more likely than not, you probably would have lost that golf ball by the time it perishes into thin air. Right, last test with the big dog. Let's see how they perform. And if anything, what today's shown me throughout this test is how good Srixon are at just making golf balls. I don't think I could say that for every manufacturer, especially when it goes down to the cheap end. Some balls, like for example the Titleist, I never got on with, like the DT Solo for example. Same with TaylorMade when they go down the lower end. But Srixon, from expensive all the way to the cheaper end, I've always got on with. Well, sadly, not good on this hole. But it sounded great. Sadly, the ball does not cure club face control. Honestly think if you put me here with 4 different blank golf balls from Srixon, I don't think I'd be able to tell one apart from the other. Oh, she is hit. And the wind's going to slide that nicely back into the fairway. Okay, last one. Marathon soft. It's been a pleasure hitting you today. 83p a golf ball. Some range balls at local driving ranges are more expensive than this golf ball. Well, there you go, ladies and gents. Might be gaming these for the next couple of months. Guys, if you like this video, you probably might like to check out my Kirkland review, which is up here on the right hand side. Catch you guys later.